Well, Secret Invasion delivers harvest, but mostly weeds. Not a great crop. Yeah. The performances, for what they are, this is a cast that could have delivered a really great show. They just didn't really have much of a story. They lifted a few items from the original comic book narrative, but they really couldn't have done that because they didn't have the money. And I mean, to make it more impactful, you would need, MCU characters returning that have gone on and that sort of thing. They were never going to be able to play that out. I mean, I suppose they could have used some of their cheaper players turning into Skrulls and stuff. But even so, just a full-on espionage story, and it's Skrulls, and an opportunity to rewrite the Skrull narrative that the Captain Marvel movie delivered, which was just really bad. And that there's these different factions, and there's a moment in there where it seems like maybe there's room to expand on what happened to Skrullos and the destruction of it. In the comics, it was destroyed by Galactus. It would be interesting if they said that's what really happened. The Kree didn't destroy it, but they took advantage of the situation, and the Skrull Empire fractured and that sort of thing. And so that's why you have different factions of Skrulls, like Talos and his group, looking for safe haven elsewhere, where there's others that are not so nice, and that sort of thing. But so far, doesn't look like that happened. So, hey, what happened in this story? Well, not a whole lot, which is typical. Nick Fury moping around, and oh no, the Skrulls are taking over. Yeah, I know. You've already established that. He's on the run and all this stuff. But the thing is, it's just massive plot holes within the narrative that they themselves set up. So you have Gravik, and there's a revolt within his ranks. Surprise, surprise. And he has to fight off 2 strikes against him. But in the arguments, they were saying the guy is criticizing him is like, you tried to kill Fury several times, and you almost had him personally, and you failed or something like that, And he says, well, that's because he has what I need. But within the same sentence, the guy was pointing out that he ordered Fury's wife to kill him. Why would you do that if you needed him alive? Because you don't, because the title Harvest is referring to a secret cache of Avengers DNA that Gravik needs to replicate their superpowers. Right now, he has the Extremis drug or whatever it was. I can't remember. But anyway, he's got it, and that's how he's able to regenerate and all that sort of stuff. And the same thing with Gaia. But that's stupid. It doesn't explain it. Plus, the idea that you've got James Rhodes right next to the president the whole time, you could have replaced the president a long time ago. This business of attacking him so blatantly like that, other than to say it was a Russian attack and trying to get the war sparked. And now his plan is to force the Americans to attack their Russian base to set off the war, this sort of thing. Yeah, okay, but there were so many opportunities for them to do it so much easier. And he just the guy's right. Gravik's a terrible leader, and he is. These are ginormous plot holes that they don't really explain, and it's terrible. And depending on, hey, look, it's Samuel Jackson. That's not good enough. Meanwhile, Gaia, of course, her whole plot was mad at Daddy. Now Daddy's dead, and at least they have her. I was a terrible daughter. It's like, well, at least they did that. Yes, Gaia. Yes, you're a terrible daughter. And she's still defiant, talking to Nick Fury and stuff, and about Daddy died on a foreign planet, fighting for a foreign planet. It's like, you joined a rebellion to eradicate humanity and take over this foreign planet. So make up your mind already. So again, you can't even get the characters consistent. She's suffering from the mental disorder of mad at daddy-itis. So so they have his funeral and everything, but Gaia and Fury's wife do that. Even though they're in the middle of nowhere out in the woods, they didn't shapeshift back to being Skrulls, which you think would be the respectable thing to do at the Skrull funeral. But I guess it would have been too expensive to put them in the makeup. And so I don't know. So anyway, it's supposed to be a big deal ending where Fury and Olivia Colman go to his secret stash of Avengers DNA, where he also keeps an extra spare black leather overcoat, and his eye patch. So he puts that on, like he's back. Okay. It's pretty bad. So, a waste of a capable cast. And looks like make it up as you go along itis, along with Batty itis, and that's about it. But the final episode will wrap it all up and make it all worth it. Highly unlikely. And even if it did, well, too late now, huh? Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Secret Invasion Harvest.